Hey guys, it's your boy Pauly here, and Sid the Studio Cat. Just thanking you for tuning in. If you don't mind taking this time to like, subscribe, and share the channel and the podcast, we'd be much appreciative. I recently took a trip up to Atlanta, Georgia to link up with Ford and Vidal, the CEOs and creators of Monatomic Music, the record label. To discuss a variety of things, their past accomplishments, how they got into music, a little bit of politics, and a little bit of the science behind 432 hertz tuning, which all of their music is mastered and tuned in 432 hertz. And that is all very, very interesting as well. I really hope that you enjoy the conversation. I know that I did fully. And once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is episode 7, Pauly on the Pod, Ford and Vidal of Monatomic Music. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's Pauly on the Pod.
You're listening to Pauly on the Pod.
Yo, let's go.
You're listening to Pauly on the Pod.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm sitting down with both Ford and Vidal, and we are going to talk about music and their label, Monatomic Music. Thanks again, guys, for sitting down with me.
Sure.
Thanks for having us.
So why don't we start off, if you guys don't mind telling us a little bit about how you guys started working together and how this relationship's kind of been going so strong for a while now, huh?
Yeah. My earliest memory was, I think I was still either fresh out of high school or still in high school right at the end there, like 16, 17. I remember being 17, and I was just nasty with the glow sticks, doing the EDM thing at late night parties, and Ford had a hit record called Icy Stars. And
that's that Robin Fox joint, correct?
Yeah. Cue music.
Yeah.
There it is. It's dope stuff. She had a show in South Beach, and so I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. So me and my buddy grabbed a little outfit, some glow sticks, and we jumped in a limo, and then we pulled up, and they were like, got to be 21 to get in. I wasn't even 18, and they were like, well, the show doesn't happen without them. So next thing you know, I'm coming through the back door, and I'm like, holy shit.
Oh,
we lost a GoPro.
yep, technical difficulty. It's all good.
It's a ghost.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Keep going.
Yeah. So next thing I know, I think I was 17 in the club in South Beach, and was like, yeah, I'm hooked. And then Ford was working in a studio, Street Beat, and I was singing chorus at the time.
And hold on, that was a studio in South Florida?
Yeah, South Florida. It was an independent record label.
Oh, cool.
Distributed through Sony.
Cool.
Called Street Beat. They did a lot of like techno music and bass music, like Miami bass.
Yeah.
That was like all those labels. They put all that stuff out.
Rad.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Vidal.
Yeah, so I went down there, and I think I was singing some song, some Backstreet Boys cut up something, I don't know, was some sample, and I was terrible at it, but I was just in love with the whole thing that was going on, and Ford and I hit it off, and played me some stuff, and I was like, you should try that. What about this? You know when you're blowing up really hard, if that does that? And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then here we are.
Sick. So
years later.
yeah, so I was about to ask,
something like that.
is how the working dynamic is between you guys. So it kind of sounds like you're kind of idea man, steering them in the direction, and Ford, you are most of the production. Am I getting that?
Yeah, mostly.
Awesome.
But
so,
a lot of EDM production particularly is like you come up with a cool riff, and then it's a year of sitting there like, how's that sound? No, how's that sound?
Right.
How's that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I kind of look back at him like, all right, I think that one's pretty dope. Is that dope? And then he'd be like, no, it's not. It's
Cool.
So.
Cool. Well, I have. You can't help but notice a lot of these plaques, these gold and platinum records on the walls here, from artists that you've worked with, Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the experiences making those records?
Yeah, it was like a dream come true. I had the success with the first couple of songs with Robin and then Tara, and then everybody was calling. They wanted that sound on their remix, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it was j.Lo, Jewel, and then it was like very surreal. Craig David, all these very Pauly Oakenfold, and then what got me that was Michael Jackson. Like that was like, all right. I was like, holy shit,
King of pop.
I fucking made it now.
Yeah.
And I started crying. I was like, oh my god, I'm working with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's
You know?
amazing.
Yeah, that was like a definitive moment. You know?
Sick.
Aside from that moment, I always, you know, that's just a sickness of ego. Is you're always chasing it. You know, it didn't matter how many gold records I hung up.
Yeah.
I was all like,
It was never enough. Yeah.
never enough.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So Vidal shared in my one-on-one a crazy story about you guys trying to get to a show in Ybor City and having to walk with the light suit through the crowd to kind of get there and everything. Do you guys have any other cool stories from either shows or I don't know, just some crazy events that have happened on your journey so far?
The fake raid. We did the fake raid. Did you tell me?
Oh yeah, I told him about that.
Oh, right on. Oh, we got into an accident once in a limo on the way to a show.
An accident?
Yeah, I remember. I forget the kid's name. I think I want to say it's like Julio or something. But there was like an 8-year-old kid in Cuba. He was like a refugee, and the Clintons were fighting. It was like this big giant thing in Miami.
Wasn't it Ilian
Gonzalez?
Yes,
That's it,
yes,
right?
yeah.
Well,
How
we
he's
had a
doing?
show in Miami, and we were driving on the way there, and then they had to reroute the traffic because of the riots, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
then we went this way, and then I guess somehow the limo driver got into an accident right in the middle of the riot. Like we're in the middle of the riot zone, you know, and the limo driver got into an accident. It was like crazy.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, we made it to the show though. The show goes on.
The show must go on.
Must go on.
Do you remember when we were in Tampa and we were on the way to a show and there was and this is messed up. I don't know if you talk about this.
Oh, come on. Give it to us.
The light had turned green and this dude in a wheelchair, it was an electronic wheelchair, just started going across the road. And some other car from another spot just popped him and he went
You're kidding me.
But we were in like 5 lanes over, turning the other way, and there was hundreds of other people there, so it was okay. But we were like, "Do we get out?" And we were like, "We're going on in like an hour."
Yeah, right.
It was hilarious. We were
A
like,
guy on a hover round
yeah.
got hit. That's wow.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do,
Yes.
yeah.
Yikes.
Crazy.
I hope he's okay.
Well, yeah, dude. I'm definitely
I
there's
bet.
so many other crazy stories. You know, club life can be a blur, but I definitely want to talk about the label, Monatomic Music. So, how did you come up with that name? Is there any significance really behind it, or?
That is a rabbit hole that I encourage the listeners to take a dive into. Look into
Awesome.
look into Monatomic Gold.
Monatomic Gold.
Monatomic Gold.
Okay.
It's very, very fascinating. That's
Yeah.
a rabbit hole unto itself.
Awesome. Awesome. Definitely will be checking that out. And I see that the tuning in 432 hertz. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, started to get really interested in that about a decade ago, and wanted to bring that to the major labels, and also had an idea of doing songs that were like for positivity, like
Right.
trying to do music that you would listen to that was pop music, but it's what you listen to on the way home from yoga or whatever. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And have it all tuned to 432 and be cool. Well, the labels were not having it. They were just like, this is a stupid idea. We don't like it. It's dumb. You know, we don't want to be part of it. And so for a while, we tried to get it going several times. This is like our third incarnation of this, you know, but finally it seems to be taking track, you know, like, but talk about discouragement, man. This has been a struggle to get it here, but now it's like, now we got Vetus, we got Sugar Hill Gang, got Nappy Roots on board, and it's just a plethora of all these famous people going, yeah, I can get with that.
Furious 5, Keith Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. That's what I was about to ask next
Yeah.
is some of the artists. And Vetus and in the Nappy Roots, you guys did a song, Roll With The Beat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hot one.
Yeah, that was...
And you got a music video for it, right?
Yeah, guys, gotta check that out. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, for those that don't know who Vetus is, I'm sure everyone out there has seen the, was it the Seventh Element? Wasn't that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've definitely seen memes or GIFs of Vetus online. That's a definite viral sensation.
Yeah, he's a complete juggernaut. I think like 8 billion streams and views. Him and Gangnam Style and the Pineapple Pin guy.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the 3 internet tritons. So we reached out to Vetus and we were like, you know, we represent the USA and 432 Hertz. We're multi-platinum gold record producers. We think your voice is amazing. If you listen to his opera number 2, I mean, the guy's 5-octave. He hits these notes that were just like, can't be real. And then, of course, once we're in the studio with him, we're like, holy shit, it's real. Reached out to him, and he was totally down for it. And then we were like, let's do something batshit crazy. And we were like, let's just break the norm. And we grabbed the hip-hop boys from Kentucky, the Nappy Roots, reached out to them, and we're like, all right, this sounds crazy, but hear me out. Just hear me out. And Skinny DeVille was like, fuck it. Sounds dope to me. Let's do it. And the rest is history on that.
Yeah, that's sick. And the video's got a cool little like alien theme to it.
Yeah, the idea of the video was it's like a American hip-hop party. And Vidas shows up in this crazy, stupid outfit. And they just accept him for who he is. And that's what we're going for.
He's an alien.
Yeah, he's in an alien suit. But so it's kind of the message was to just be yourself. Go to a party if you don't think you fit in. If you're going to a rock party, it doesn't mean you have to wear rock clothes or be a rock guy. Just go. Have fun, be yourself, and chill. That's what the whole thing was about. So just roll with it. Roll with the beat.
Yeah, roll with the beat.
That's kind of what we were doing there. So
yeah, it's awesome. My kids and my nieces, they love the song. It pumps them up.
It was really incredible, and it was surprising we didn't get more press on it. It was a historical event. It was the first time anybody had ever done pop music. Anytime Americans had collaborated with a Russian to make pop music.
No way.
First time in history. It happened once before on a classical record in like 1916 or some crazy shit. It was like a long time ago, but it was that was like a classical endeavor, But this is
the Cold War happened.
Yeah,
it was like don't.
So
make
it was a
music with the
huge deal, and in Russia they made a huge deal about it,
Wow.
And then here we couldn't just get any traction whatsoever. It was like no one wanted to hear the fact that we were working Russians. That was right in the middle of the Russian collusion. We were colluding for real.
Yeah, for a better cause.
For a better cause.
Not for political and personal gain.
Right. Yeah.
Bring the world together.
Yeah.
We've got a.
This is the real collusion.
Yeah.
It was on all of the talk shows over there, on all of the news, and in Russia they have a whole thing like AntiHipHop. They have little groups that go into like nightclubs, and if there's any cursing or drug usage at all involved in the song, these people shut it down.
No
it's
shit.
a whole thing. Yeah, I watched the whole thing out. So here we are with our beer cans and talking about a little bit of this and a little bit of that with the Nappy Roots, and it just went right under the radar because they didn't really know what they were saying. And they're on national TV in Russia and Moscow going, would you look what the cat drugged in?
Yeah.
And people in Russia are like, was hip-hop just invaded our airwaves? And we're like,
it just did.
We're like pounded on that one.
Yes,
yeah. True that.
Huge victory for America.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. For the whole world, really,
Yeah, no, definitely.
Definitely.
It shows people in like Brazil and South Africa that like, hey, Americans and Russians are working together to do music.
Yeah, if that can happen, I mean, shit.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So whenever, do you have these...
Atlas is snoring.
I was
He's
about to
my
say,
dog.
Yeah, well, I put Atlas up on the Instagram.
He's a studio dog.
Yeah, studio dog. He is 145 pounds. He's a big, beautiful boy. Yeah. But no, so you guys have worked with just a crazy variety of artists.
Yeah.
I mean, from different genres. I mean, Vidas being... really an opera singer is his origins, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then kind of into pop from the Nappy Roots. I mean, just, list goes on. Do you make some music and then you think, oh, someone would sound good on that? Or do you reach out to like an artist first and you're like, we've just got an idea for a project. Do you want to get on board and then kind of get it rolling from there?
A little bit of both.
Yeah?
Like with Sugar Hill Gang, I remember we were going to work on a beat together. And I actually went down to Florida, I think for some kind of, I don't remember what I was going there for, but Ford was like, oh, well, I listened to like 3 or 4 Sugar Hill Gang songs, and then boom, just popped right in there. And she's like, here, what do you think of this? And I listened back to it, and I was like, pfft. I'm like, if that ain't Sugar Hill Gang, I don't know what is. I'm like, sold, that's it. So she kind of had it in her mind, knew where to go, and just did it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll just sit there and pull up Pro Tools and go, I have no idea. I'm like, I don't either. All right, let's just start here.
A lot of times he'll come to me with, to me, it's all about the concept, right? You have to have a concept first.
Right.
First, you have to know who your audience is and who you want to market to, and then make what's the concept that's going to appeal to them, And he's good at that. Like, he has clever ideas of, why don't we do a song about breaking up with Molly? So it's a pro anti-drug song, but it sounds like a drug song, but it's really about breaking up with drugs.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's cool, because that makes it so much more like, makes it person think it's their idea. You know? You know, but things like that, like he comes with, let's work with Vitas, the opera guy, and put him with rappers. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, who's Vitas? You know?
I'm like, slide over, check this out. I'm like, oh shit, that guy? Yeah.
Yeah, so the breaking up with Molly track, didn't you have, when they're a rapper on that one?
Yeah. We like to work with people that are already in groups and bands and show them that they can be their own artists, their own entity, if you will. So he was in a group called Streets of America, something like that. I don't remember.
United Streets of America.
Okay, there you go. And he was like, well, what would I be? Whatever you want to be, whoever you want to be. You know,
right.
This is kind of what the record is about. This is what it is. So we sat down, we wrapped it all out, came up with a bunch of different ideas. And somehow he picked the name Schizo, and it kind of all stuck with us. We were like, all right, it's cool.
Sick.
Yeah. And it was
Well, he's schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You know, so he was like, why don't I just call myself Schizo? That's like me. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's rad.
We were like, oh my God, that's it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so that we thought it was totally dope. And then what goes to show you about you never know, and the sheeple, if you will, no offense, but we got slammed when that video came out, because in the video, he's in a wheelchair because he's in a schizophrenic home. That's kind of like the
Right.
press. And then in his mind, he's actually at the club, and it's it's really well done video. And people right off the bat were like, "You're making fun of the mentally ill. You're making fun of the handicap" in the comments.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
just hundreds of
Crushed
comments, and
us.
we're like, "What? We're talking about Molly. Like, how did you get that from that? Like,
It's just
so
this outrage cancel culture. You know, everybody's just
Yeah.
using social media to just try to get, you know, their voice heard, you know, their tweet reshared, and, you know, it's just...
Go write a song about it. Stop picking on mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right?
even like, okay, you know, it's the whole, you know, Joe Rogan talks a lot about it, the whole, you know, Louis C.K., you know, thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah, was he masturbating in front of people? He asked him. But still, it's like the guy can't get back to work. You know what I mean? Because they're
Yeah.
like making it like out to like he, you know, the same with Roseanne.
I know. You could tell she's kidding, and it's no big deal.
Right.
You know, like, good
if-
God.
yeah, dude. And one, you know, I didn't know this till she was on an episode, speaking of Joe Rogan, was, dude, she was like in a really bad accident when she was younger and like had a traumatic brain injury and like had to relearn how to do like everything. So already she's a little crazy. And then if you've grown up watching her, you know, she's just kind of like the say whatever comes to mind comic. Mm-hmm. It's just like,
Yeah.
fucking A. I long for the days of where like Andrew Dice Clay, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, was king, where you
I
just
think
say
we're
whatever
on the
the fuck
cusp
you
of
want.
it, man. I think people are sick of it, and I think you're going to see a huge wave of that coming back.
Yeah.
you should get like an Eminem comic.
Yeah.
Put him
Yeah.
out, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just get out
Which-
there and rip it.
Which, you know, just you bringing up Eminem, it's kind of crazy. I don't know if you like some of these younger rappers now, it's like throwing shots at him. You know what I mean? Like talking real, like Tyler, the creator from Odd Future, and him had a little bit of beef for a little bit. And even though Tyler said he like really looked up to him and stuff, when M put out a new album, he like completely just trashed him. And all these young rappers that like early on in their careers are saying how much they respect him and he's one of their favorite rappers, greatest rappers of all time. They get a little traction, and now they're just like throwing shots, throwing shade. It's just everybody's trying to say or do whatever they can shocking to just like catch a headline. You
Yeah,
know?
there's a
So and so said this, so and so did this.
It's an analogy. I would put it in as like if it was a tribe, a little village, and all these people live together, and there's one kid, instead of like getting hurt and getting attention from the tribe's people, he runs out there and punches a lion in the face to be like, oh, look how traumatic this is. You know, if you go after Eminem, he's gonna get you more views and more things. So
Exactly.
it's cool for him to not even say a damn thing.
Yeah.
And just be like, I'm way above that. You know?
Yeah.
We actually did a record remix for him. Which one was it?
Without me.
Without Me.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, this was super sick. The guy's just a beast, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit about some of the artists that you guys are working with currently. You guys got any like projects, you know, in the wing?
Yeah, one of the coolest ones is we have a band called Divine Love Mission. And
Yeah.
Ford's actually pretty much doing it all with that band, singing, producing, writing. And
Wow.
we found out this week that the song is being picked up by an organization called we.org. and they do 2 concerts a year, and they're like massively sold out. But all the money is donated to charity, and then they allow you to pick your own charity. So the song's called "Become One Tonight." We heard rumors that U2 is going to be on that album. A bunch of other major rock stars. So that's a huge accomplishment for Ford and for the label.
Too.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
And then so they sent us this 11 charities to pick from, and they also threw in I think this is where they messed up dealing with Monatomic music, but they said pick any charity of your choice, or if you want to bring one to the organization, feel free to, and we'll give them exposure. So Ford, what'd you pick?
Maps. Yeah, they research for psychedelics use in therapy. So they're using psychedelics to treat addiction. Unfortunately, not snoring for dogs.
Yeah.
And they're using it. They use ibogaine to treat people who have heroin addiction or alcoholic addiction. They say basically one trip on this ibogaine. Obviously with a therapist involved, that you're done. You're not addicted to anything anymore.
Wow.
And they're also working to legalize the use of MDMA in therapy as well, which that's originally what that drug was made for.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of really amazing things. Dennis McKenna, who runs that organization, is the brother of Terrence McKenna. So if you're really into existential philosophy and tripping, check out Terrence McKenna for a mind blow.
Wow, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've had your fair share of experience with the psychedelics. I'm sure both of you have.
I see what happened was
drugs are bad and good.
drugs are bad and good.
On the contrary, I mean, drugs have been a part of my life for my younger years. Obviously you can't be a rave producer, DJ, and doing ecstasy. Not doing ecstasy, but I kind of grew out that. I'm almost 50 now, and I haven't done that. That's not a thing anymore for me. But tripping, on the other hand, without question, this might get me in trouble, but without question, is the most beneficial thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah, for sure. Everything in moderation. But the thing about tripping is it's not the kind of drug you're going to abuse. You kind of trip and you're like, all right, I'm done with that for a month.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very mind expanding, and a lot of times, very introspective, you learned a lot about yourself.
Absolutely. If you do it to party, if you take it to a rave, then you're missing 90% of what that thing can do for you. It's about meditating and going in and and I've devoted my life to that now. That's how much of an effect it's had on me. Not the tripping, but just it's opened up windows in yoga and meditation and just
and the mental and spiritual growth and such. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, let's see what we got here. Oh, Vidal. Actually, before we sat down, I started to hear a pretty funny story about how Vidal was bit by a copperhead. Snake, and for those that don't know, copperheads are venomous and they can kill you. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah. So all right, going pretty quickly. I'm kind of like a Huck Finn type. If it's there, I'll catch it. And this damn thing.
You did not pick it up.
Yeah, he's in my mom's backyard. I saw it, and I knew it was poisonous. So I put my thumb over the top of his head, and I pinched him. I've caught snakes before, and I had his mouth closed. I pulled him out of the hole, and he was biggin'. He whipped around, his tail slapped on my arm, and I let go for a split second, and he got me. So I looked over there, and I was like, bring me a shovel and call 911. They're like, you're kidding. And
those things can be angry.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. So we took his head off, threw him in a bag. For those of you out there, you do not need to bring the snake anymore to the United States hospitals. They have it all figured out. Mm-hmm. I guess it was an old bring the snake with you so they know how to treat it, but
they got
the whole hospital was like, holy shit.
You brought it
here? Yeah, I was like, I got him right here. What is this? Blood all over it. I'm like, hands swollen.
I'm like, somebody save me.
Yeah, it was a hot mess. The doctors and nurses peeking their head in like, who's the idiot?
So let me ask you this. What was the pain like on the bite? And then what was the pain like in the side effects as the symptoms were kind of setting in and the venom was...
well, the whole thing was probably worst 5 hours of my life. Where they bite you,
right?
They come up every 20 minutes and then touch you by your wrist and be like, can you feel the pain there? Be like, nope. And they come back 20 minutes later and be like, yeah, I can feel it. So that went on for 5 hours, and they marked it. And then as soon as it got within 6 inches of my shoulder, they knew the poison was going to my heart and then I was going to ICU. So I roll up in the ICU, and the guy's like, you're awake? I'm like, yeah. He's like, usually people are going to die or dead. Yeah. I'm like, what up, bro? He's like, so I'm going to make you feel really good. And he just started pumping me full of all kinds of stuff. But it felt like somebody taking a knife and cut my hand open, maybe put a little lemon juice in there, and then just started slapping it.
Yeah.
For about 8 hours. So don't pick up snakes.
Don't pick up snakes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've had my fair share of picking up snakes, and I've definitely gambled myself. I've caught a couple water moccasins in my day.
Yeah, and then I took a spider to the face like 3 weeks later. It's a whole thing. Like, all right, leave the wildlife alone. Stay in the studio and.
Yeah, Steve Irwin
Jeez,
died, dude.
yeah.
You don't need to.
Yeah, I'm no replication, so
Yep.
that's my bad.
Yeah, I don't do any more hospital visits, man. That was rough.
Oh, I hate
That
the
marker was
hospital.
going up. I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah. Dude, and the hospitals just give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
It's really any place where I get in and I can't feel fresh air for like a prolonged period of
Yeah,
time. I'm
it's-
like, just get me out of here.
Yeah, I was in there for 10 days for this.
Fuck.
Yeah, so day 5, after I had been like, they're like, how's the pain? I was like, oh, it really hurts again, just because I wanted them to pump me up full of drugs so I could pass the time to get the hell out of there. So, oops. Hell of a bill, though. Hell of a bill.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I remember just thinking about, you said, stop messing with the wildlife. I was living up here in Atlanta a few years back when I was younger, and Vidal killed the Easter Bunny.
Ooh.
We were riding home from the bar, and a little bunny comes out in front of the car and didn't stand a chance. And we, being selfish and self-centered, was like, let's just keep go partying. Doesn't matter if tomorrow morning is Easter and all the kids are going to come outside. And we went back out to the bar.
It's true.
Vidal's brother John just could not hang, so he buried the Easter bunny. And what did the text message say?
He just randomly texted me at like 3 in the morning. He said, it is done.
It is done.
Buried him in the backyard, and he didn't have a shovel. He had to use a hoe. And it was raining, and then the neighbors were out to the other side looking at him like, what is the neighbor doing back there with the hoe?
In the rain at night.
With it 3 o'clock in the morning. Like,
Burying
yeah.
bodies.
So,
Little did they know. Little did they know.
Yeah.
Easter bunny was dead.
It's my bad.
Yeah. No. Anyway. Yeah. Stay away from the wildlife, Vidal.
Yeah.
But let's switch gears a little bit. I always like to talk about politics. I know a lot of people don't, but just want to gauge a little bit of your, your kind of perspective on the state of everything. We've got as we were watching a documentary or a little YouTube channel earlier, and they're talking about the shadow banning and kind of this, PC super hypersensitive outrage kind of culture, and especially people being triggered by our president and by our two-party politics. What are you guys? How are y'all feeling about the state of this country?
You want to take that one?
Sure. This is going to piss off everybody, I think. I kind of see politics as worldwide wrestling, the WWF when I was 13.
Right.
In that moment when I realized watching the John Stossel special that wrestling was fake,
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's happening is people are beginning to see that politics is fake.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
So there's this very wide disenchantment with people right now. And what's filling that void is hate, but the powers that be are very good at propaganda and tearing people apart.
For sure.
Divide and conquer is
Yeah.
like the biggest rule with 48 laws of power,
Mm-hmm.
and that's exactly what they're implementing on us, As long as we're fighting each other, we're not going, where the fuck's our money?
Yeah. And that's why I think that, they
We're only
also...
missing like 7 billion, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Trillion.
Oh,
Yeah,
trillion. Yeah,
I was about to say, go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more than that.
I'm still looking at that 20 from last night. What is that shit?
We don't know where it is. We're not sure.
And that's why they,
No
they
one
keep
knows.
snuffing out, this two-party politics. If there was more than two parties, it'd be too hard to keep everybody divided,
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Everyone bitches about the homeless problem and the drug problem and all this. Look, $130 billion would put everybody with a roof over their head and 3 square meals a day, and educated.
Yeah.
And there's $7 trillion missing.
Yeah.
But let's go blow up some Afghanistan person that doesn't have anything, doesn't have a pot to piss in. Let's blow up their hut
Yeah.
using a $300,000 missile.
Yeah, or a drone.
Exactly.
The whole thing is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But people are incapable of critical thinking as long as they're watching, the circus propaganda media.
Yeah, that corporate news media, they just they believe everything they see, and especially the social media. We were talking about that this morning. Everybody just believes that headline or that share, and nobody does any research to find out what they're getting so pissed off about is if it's even true, and it's not hard to go back and kind of check a couple of sources and find out a lot of them, are posted by bots and fake accounts, or they're legitimate people, they're real people, but this is what they do. They make their living at switching from one side of the argument to the other, just writing something to get people outraged. And
no, totally. We were talking about it earlier. I don't take a political side. I'm, if anything, independent, registered, libertarian leaning, classical libertarian leaning, but also liberal leaning in many, many ways. I'm fucking transgender,
Yeah.
But I had posted this thing about that Greta girl, and it was a really funny meme. I mean, I was like crying, laughing. And then I got attacked like crazy. I mean, I got like crazy comments of just, you need to die, you are terrible, you're killing. To the point that I'm pretty much am not intimidated by anybody. I don't really give a shit, But even I took it down. I was like, oh shit, man, this is like 60 shame comments in a row was enough to get me to take it down. I thought, man, there's no way people are doing that. That's a robot doing that.
Yeah. Well, one who has all that time anyway. Like, fuck.
Who could be that? Who could be that interested? I mean, who could not see that was a joke? You know what I mean? Come on,
Yeah. I didn't see. I posted the.
Oh, it was funny. You would have been crying.
The Greta Fatboy Slim, right here.
Oh yeah,
right now. I don't care. I'm dying laughing. I was like, shout out to my man Fatboy Slim. That's one of my biggest influences. I love that guy.
And all the people with the whole, the Greta Van Thornburg, I think, or is her last name or whatever. I mean, I'm just like, dude. If they're not going to believe a well-educated, articulate scientist with actual scientific evidence to back up, they're not going to be perceptive to a whiny, little girl trying to shame you into, you know what I mean? It's like, if anything, you're just going to dig your heels in harder and be like, fuck that, I'm not listening to you or anything else. So.
How is that girl the Time Magazine Person of the Year?
I don't know. That
and
was
not
the
scientist freezing his ass off on some lake in fucking Antarctica, pulling those ice cores up going, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Evidence shows you're wrong.
Fun fact. Any human waste down there while they're doing that is not allowed. Like, that's like a global rule. So they get rid of... They ship all of the feces and urine out of Antarctica.
Oh my god!
So that guy should have time of the year. I mean, that's a shitty job.
No doubt.
There was actually a guy
just to get it done, to learn how to
I had to back my own shit.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Up here like,
I can't remember where I heard this from, but there was a guy that set like the world record for like trekking across Antarctica.
Sorry.
Oh, the dogs. That's cool. Somebody's here maybe. I don't know.
Prime or something.
Yeah, so he was like pulling a sled. He had like a 300-pound sled that he basically had to tow, and he was like walking across Antarctica, or like this pathway, and he was going to set the world record. And that's what he was talking about. Is he hit the zone where you can't leave anything behind, no trace. And so people were like thinking that your load would get lighter, and he was like, actually, he's like, as I'm eating the little bars, but then I'm having to carry all of my feces and such, bag it and carry it on. He's like, my sled got heavier by the end of it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I'll stick to making music.
Yeah,
and playing it in the clubs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, dude. I'm gonna stick
Beats
to
working.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to skateboarding and just doing cool shit.
Yeah, true that.
But anyways, I really appreciate you guys, the hospitality, taking the time to sit down with me. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media and find your music?
Just go with the @Monatomic Music. Our YouTube channel, that's where we're putting out all of our music videos, and we're actually about to do something really cool. We're going to release videos that are explaining 432 hertz and what happened with it, the whole story of it. If you could put that in the comments or something like that, if you guys check it out, or just Google Monatomic Music. We're putting out so much content now that if you Google it within If you Googled it today, Monatomic Music, you can find us. It's right there.
Awesome.
Or ask Jeeves if you're not down with Google and the other, Monatomic Music.
Right, right on.
Stuff, worldwide.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. Thanks again, and Ford, have fun at the Super Bowl this weekend.
Thank you.
Travel
I'm going
safe.
to. Yeah, sure.
And appreciate you guys for tuning in and subscribing, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'd be super stoked and hella grateful if you could like this episode and subscribe to the channel and the podcast. Once again, thanks for listening and watching. I will catch you next episode. Peace, love, and skateboarding.